HOA forced me to mow every week, so I covered my lawn in permanent artificial turf. Told in first person by Noah Delgado. It started with grass, and it ended with fake turf, a viral video, and the end of Karen's little empire. I never thought I'd care about a lawn. I'm not that guy, but then again, I never expected to move into a neighborhood where a woman named Karen walked around with a ruler and a tape measure like she was the queen of green. I moved into Willow Glen Estates a year ago. Small house, decent price, quiet block. I'm a traveling photographer. I'm gone a lot. But when I'm home, I want peace. I don't do drama. I mind my own. Apparently, that was my first mistake. My lawn was a bit patchy when I moved in. Nothing wild. Just your average recently moved in, still unpacking kind of lawn. Within a week, I found a printed notice taped to my door. Dear resident, you are hereby warned that your lawn exceeds the HOA's Uniform Growth Standard UGS. It must be cut weekly. Failure to comply will result in fines. Signed in curling cursive, Karen L. Withers, President, Willow Glen HOA only. There was no Willow Glen HOA, not officially. And Karen. She was just a neighbor, but she had a clipboard, a badge she probably made at Staples, and a fantasy of power. I ignored the first notice. Then came a second. Then a third, this one attached to a photo of my yard with a ruler photoshopped in. The next time I came home from a job in Nevada, I found a yellow final warning sign planted in my lawn. My neighbor Greg said Karen had put it there herself. She waited until your mail piled up, he told me. Said you'd been negligent. I confronted her. She didn't flinch. This community thrives on order. She said, you signed the agreement. No, I didn't. I replied, I checked. There's no registered HOA here. She narrowed her eyes. Well, we've reorganized. Under a provisional charter. There it was, again provisional. Her favorite made-up word. That's when I realized this wasn't about grass. This was about control. So, I played along. For a few weeks, I mowed. On Mondays, exactly 8 a.m., even kept a little log. But every time I cut it, I got another violation, edges not aligned, color inconsistent, signs of foot traffic. It was madness. Then one day, I saw her walking the street with her measuring committee, 3 seniors with printed name tags and identical visors. They stopped outside my house and knelt beside a daisy. One of them measured it. I kid you not, measured a flower. The next day, I got fined for unmanaged flora. I laughed, out loud, and that's when I knew what I had to do. I called in a favor. A buddy of mine does commercial landscaping. Told him I needed full artificial turf installed front and back. Thick, neon green, made for football field turf. Why, he asked. Because it never grows. It never dies. It never needs Karen. He whistled. Petty with a purpose. I like it. The install date, the next Friday. That Tuesday, Karen dropped off a printed pamphlet at my door. Why natural grass reflects moral character. A community guide. That was the last straw. While they prepped the install, I started digging into Karen's little empire. Turns out, she'd created a fake HOA website using a free Wix template. She had dues collection set up through Venmo. She'd even photoshopped HOA council signatures from people who'd moved away years ago. But the worst, she'd been preying on elderly homeowners, scaring them into believing they'd lose their homes if they didn't pay. I found 2 widows who'd paid her over $200 in late maintenance penalties. That's when my prank became a mission. Friday arrived. The truck pulled up at Irizarry sharp. By 8:20, Karen was out front, bathrobe blowing in the wind, eyes wide with fury. You can't do this. I can, I said, and I got the permit to prove it. You'll ruin the aesthetic of the entire block. I leaned in. Lady, this turf is the most peaceful thing on the street. She tried to stop the workers. One of them called the police. When the officer arrived, she launched into a monologue about communal betrayal and eco-hysteria. He blinked twice, then said, Ma'am, you can't block private property installs. She screamed. The cop shrugged. The camera rolled. That TikTok got 1.4 million views in 2 days. But the best was still to come. By the end of the weekend, my house looked like it had been gift-wrapped in golf course. The turf gleamed a brilliant, uniform green, not a weed in sight, no brown patches, no lawnmower noise, just peace. And Karen. She was spiraling. She handed out flyers titled Synthetic Lawns, Earning Synthetic Morals. She created a petition demanding restoration of Ridgeway natural order. She even posted grainy footage of my lawn online and tried to start a boycott of my house. But she'd picked the wrong guy, because I wasn't the only one tired of her. Turns out, she'd been issuing citations to a lot more people than I realized. People who didn't push back. People who'd been bullied quietly for years. Mr. Jenkins, the veteran across the street, got written up for unapproved flagpole height. The Patel family got fined for having their kid's bike left out overnight. One single night, and none of it was legal. So I compiled it all. With Greg's help, we went door to door. We gathered stories, fake fines, screenshots of her fake HOA posts. We built a timeline going back 5 years. Victor, the local attorney who'd helped me once before, took one look and said, "Yeah, this isn't just petty, this is criminal impersonation." And then he smiled. "I've got a buddy at the district attorney's office. Let's make a call." By the end of that week, Karen's fake HOA was under formal investigation. Turns out she'd collected over $16,000 in dues through Venmo and PayPal from scared or confused neighbors, many of them over 70. She claimed it was for beautification efforts, but not a dime had gone into the community. The real kicker, her own lawn hidden behind her backyard fence was dead brown, patchy, uneven. She'd been fining folks for things she refused to fix herself. Hypocrisy in high heels. We posted before and after shots, my vibrant synthetic turf and her drought-damaged jungle. The post blew up. People started tagging it, Pranakern fake grass justice, Shahinash or Karen killed the neighborhood, Pranar's turf, the tyrant. Even the local news showed up. A segment titled HOA or Just a Hoax aired on the 6 o'clock spot. Karen refused interviews. Her house went dark. But we weren't done yet. That weekend, we held a neighborhood potluck. No more clipboard, no more fines, just folding tables, paper plates, and laughter. And as we gathered in my plastic grass yard, kids playing soccer, music humming from a Bluetooth speaker, Victor stepped up and made the announcement Karen Withers had been formally charged with fraud, impersonating a governing official, and elder abuse. Her Wix site was shut down, her Venmo account frozen, her fake HOA bank records subpoenaed. The cherry on top, the city installed a sign at the entrance to Ridgeway. This community is not under HOA jurisdiction. And underneath, in smaller font, someone had added in permanent marker, "Thanks, Noah." I won't lie, sometimes I miss the feel of real grass. But every time I step outside barefoot, drink in hand, into a yard that never browns, never grows, and never gets measured by a sociopath with a clipboard, it's worth it. Karen moved out 2 months later. Quietly. No goodbye letters. Just a moving truck at dawn. Her house sold to a young couple with a golden retriever and a flamingo-themed mailbox. No one's measured their lawn once. So what did I learn? That silence is compliance. That authority only works if we pretend it's real. And that sometimes the best revenge is as simple as never mowing again. Call to action. What would you have done? Have you ever had to stand up to fake rules or fake power in your neighborhood? Drop your story or opinion below. Let's talk about justice, boundaries, and what community should really mean, because grass may grow wild, but so do people when left alone.